good evening, good afternoon, good night, whenever you're streaming this. Welcome to Two Left Fielders. I'm your host, Harry Cassell. Joining me, as always, the man, the legend, G-Mart.
What's good with it, Big Harry? I'm back home in Louisville this week. I got out of Indiana without any chair-inflicted injuries from Coach Knight, so it's good to be back home in the Bluegrass.
It's good to have you this week, man. How have you been?
I'm doing great, man. The Final Four went well. Team Gene went down a little earlier than we were all hoping. They choked in the second half against Michigan. Villanova breezed through the tournament, beating each team by double digits. It got me to thinking about this quote I heard, from Dennis Green years ago.
If you want to crown them, then crown their ass. But they are who we thought they were.
I mean, it was pretty obvious from the jump. Villanova, they came through, dominated throughout the entire tournament, as we said. First team to win by double digits in every round and some time now. I'm not exactly sure how many years, 8, 9, 10 years, something like that. I mean, it's been a while. Villanova came out and balled.
Well, we're not that show. We're not going to talk about Villanova. We're not going to talk about Kentucky, Kansas. We're not going to talk about any of the teams. We're going to go out of left field, right? Isn't that what we do?
It is.
You want Dante Tweets. I can't say his last name, but you want Dante Tweets.
Dante, what was his name? DiVincenzo? Dante DiVincenzo.
DiVincenzo sounds like a foreign cheese. You know what I mean? It's like, what would you like on your pasta today, sir? And I'm like, I'm trying to be fancy. I want that DiVincenzo.
Oh, yes, sir.
But as I said, no one knows anything. My girl's bracket was better than mine, and she doesn't know anything about college basketball. So, oh my God, gee.
Yo.
This is how Hillary Clinton felt.
Oh, my Lord. I guess it is, right? She had all the tools.
We looked, and we did a deep dive at some of the Dante, whatever his last name is, tweets. And some of them were fun, some of them were super not okay, and they shouldn't be said ever. But some of our favorites are, to my dad, I'm an expletive now because I don't want to play expletive soccer. Yes, facts. You are an expletive now. And then another good one is, your girl has a nice body, but her face is as ugly as expletive. And there's a bunch more, and they're using a bunch of words that I don't really want to use on the podcast, and I'm not going to use on the podcast. But just know, he was like 13 or 12, and everyone does dumb things on the internet. Always.
I mean, anytime something happens these days, immediately we find tweets, posts from years ago that, may not reflect how the people truly feel at this time. Like you said, these were tweets from Dante from when he was a young teenage kid. So, I haven't had a Twitter.
Exactly. You don't need to clown this man for something he did 5 years ago.
No, I mean, I haven't had a Twitter for but a few weeks. I mean, I only got one after being harassed by you and a number of other people. I need to get on Twitter, So
I'm trying to hype the podcast. This is for the brand.
Fair enough, but so I don't really have too big of a backlog of tweets. Like, I think I've only tweeted once, and I think it was I think I tweeted, Dak, this is Jerry Jones, you're a Dallas Cowboy. So there's that. But
it's a good tweet, though. It's a good tweet.
I got to digging through your Twitter a little bit, and I think you might be in the same.
That's not a good idea.
I think you might be in the same boat as Dante there, Harry. Now, there's certainly
a number. Dante boat? That's awesome. I'm about to drop 30.
You're ridiculous. Well, there were certainly a number of tweets I'm not going to read here. I don't want to put my man's Harry on blast like that, but.
Well, it sounds like you're putting me on blast.
A little bit. Well, speaking of on blast. I can only go
back to last Wednesday.
On blast. So I got a tweet here from 8:13 a.m., September 25th of 2013. Harry tweeted, I blasted 2 Chainz while writing a paper, and now it's ignorant. So there's that. I'm not really.
I stand behind that one. That one's not bad, right? That one's not. I stand behind that. I did. That paper was ignorant.
Fair enough. And as I got to digging a little more through 2013, there was a lot of crazy things that happened that year. My Cardinals won the championship, later to be vacated.
That was a good year.
Chick-fil-A, they had a lot. They were in the news.
The Heat won that
year. The
Heat
won. Chick-fil-A was in the news quite a bit for some bad press, whether it was, anti.
This is a Chick-fil-A tweet?
It's a Chick-fil-A tweet. I'm prefacing it a little bit. It was, it was a time when they got some slack for making, homophobic remarks. Or something.
Oh, what did I say?
Maybe being racist a little bit is what they're accused of. Harry tweeted, having Chick-fil-A for breakfast. Feeling a little racist.
Oh my God.
Come on, Harry. You gotta. Why is that still on the internet?
Why did I tweet that? I tweeted, I'm feeling racist.
Unbelievable, Casal.
When was this tweeted?
5:24 a.m. on December the 5th, 2013.
Wait. I was eating Chick-fil-A breakfast at 5:24 in the morning.
I'm not really sure what you were doing at that time, Harry, but it seems as if a lot of your tweets...
I have like a nocturnal self where I come out in the middle of the night and I raid Chick-fil-A's and I'm racist, apparently.
I don't know. It seems like you're ahead of the Trump train there a little bit. His move is to tweet throughout the middle of the night. I see a lot of tweets on your account from years past from the wee hours of the morning, but...
All right, let's keep it moving.
Keep it moving. Enough of these. Dante DiVincenzo, your great name is a great pasta dish, but we're moving on.
You got the great views, and we're not going to make fun of you on this show.
Fair enough. Well, sticking with college basketball, my alma mater, Louisville Cardinals, as I've mentioned multiple times throughout our podcast, we've had a tumultuous year. We lost our head coach, Rick Pitino. We went out and got Chris Mack. He's run a clean program at Xavier. It was a really great hire. And I think it's safe to say...
I feel like all college programs, like clean, should be in like italics.
Yeah, italics. I mean, Coach Pitino said it best himself with the way our program's been run recently.
It's the Italian way. They always want to kill each other.
Okay, Coach Pitino. I mean, whatever you got to say, that came from an interview with he and Coach Calipari on Jim Rome show. But nonetheless, we're finally moving away from the Rick Pitino era onto the Chris Mack era. So we're hoping for the best in this new chapter of Louisville basketball.
Also in sports news, Nick Saban and LeBron James are beefing about barbershops. It's wild. I'm just gonna, we should just play the clips because I can't even describe it. Do we have that? This is courtesy of something.
Courtesy of ESPN. Here we go. We got Nick Saban commenting on being served by LeBron James' lawyer for recently doing a barbershop type film clip with a number of former Alabama greats, Julio Jones, Mark Ingram. But nonetheless, here's Saban responded to being served by LeBron's lawyers.
But I think LeBron James is a great player. There's been at least 20 barbershop type things I've seen on TV. I didn't know anybody owned that. I didn't even know.
And half of them are with Ice Cube. Am I right? Saban?
I mean, it's ridiculous. Saban, I can understand why he's a little ticked off. I mean, there's been a lot of barbershop. There's been movies called Barbershop. I mean, it's a popular.
Is this really? Are they really beefing over this? Didn't Skip Bayless try to do this 3 years ago? Didn't he try to do an undefeated or undisputed or whatever it's called? Didn't he try to do it in a barbershop and it didn't work?
I think so. And listen to LeBron's response here. This was him post game responding to the beef between he and Coach Saban.
Back with him as a coach, but I'd be damned if I allow someone to use our platform or try to do the same thing we're doing.
Come on, LeBron, doing the same thing you're doing.
So serious.
Seriously,
what do you mean? He goes on and on about it being for players by players only. You're kind of stealing the idea of the Players Tribune. So if you wanted to get really technical, C.J. McCollum should get on you. He should be heated.
I mean,
he should sue you. He should sue Skip Bayless. He should sue Saban. That's hard to say. And he should sue Ice Cube.
Coming to America is an iconic film in our culture, and that's where, in my opinion, that's where the barbershop scene originated. You know what I mean? Let's check in with Coming to America.
His mama named him Clay. I'm gonna call him Clay.
Mama calling Clay, I call him Clay. Come on, LeBron, enough of that. Sticking with the NBA, this past weekend, Easter Sunday was April Fool's Day. Saturday night, the night before, Anthony Davis tweets out, "Should I shave my unibrow?" Over 70,000 people voted on it. More than this
midterm election, am I right?
Yes. But nonetheless, everyone's like, AD, he's known as the brow. This guy did this little stunt video where he attempted to act like he shaved off his unibrow. There was outrage. Everyone said, oh my gosh, Anthony Davis has shaved his unibrow. Turns out it was an April Fool's joke. But come on, AD, you looked way better without the unibrow. But at the same time, I'm with you. I mean, that's been your trademark look. So, there's that. So, good one, AD, but...
No. April Fool's on Anthony Davis. You looked better with the unibrow. James Harden has the beard because... has anyone ever seen a picture of James Harden without his beard? He looks whack. James Harden looks so much better with the beard, so he rocks the beard and he made it his persona. You look worse with the unibrow. Don't rock what makes you look worse.
AD. But, he's leading the league and he's a future MVP, so we can only say so much on his unibrow look.
In NFL news, Sean McVay is playing my GM on Rookie. This offseason, he's acquired corner Marcus Peters, corner Aqib Talib, going to be snatching chains. Sam Shields, the Giants 2018 fourth-round pick, the Giants 2018 sixth-round pick, a Dolphins pick, which is fun for me, a Chiefs sixth-round pick. They've added Brandon Cooks to all of that, and they already have a strong wide receiver core. And I just want to see the Super Bowl right now because I just want to see them play, and I think they're going to go far, and they're so good, and they're so young, and they're the running back strong, and their O-line is strong, and they drafted well, and I want to see this team make a run.
They're ready to go. I mean, you also forgot to mention they signed Ndamukong Suh, so we got Ndamukong Suh and Aaron Donald clogging up the middle. Looks like the LA Rams are going to be a team to be reckoned with coming into this next NFL season. Well, jumping sports here, baseball.
Also for fantasy, like you could pick anyone on their offense.
I mean, the Rams are going to be loaded. Safe to say. Well, jumping to baseball, opening week was this past week. I'm a Cincinnati Reds fan. Harry's a Marlins fan, so this may be the only week.
Right? Such a good opening season.
This might be the only week of the season our respective franchises have a chance of being in the 500, wins and loss columns. We're in
the hunt.
We're in the hunt. First week of April, Marlins, Reds. Dreams of November night are still in play, but I noticed that the Marlins in the very first pitch of the season gave up a bomb to Ian Happ of the Chicago Cubs, so it didn't get off to a good start. I did notice that your boy Giancarlo Stanton, now a Yankee, he homered in his first game.
He got booed. I don't care about his 2 home runs in the opening game. His first game at Yankee Stadium, 5 appearances, 5 strikeouts, got booed out of Yankee Stadium. And that's almost better than the Marlins and a bunch of home runs and the 17 innings and all these games going forever. And I don't want to talk about that, but Carlos Stanton, am I right? Booed out of Yankee Stadium.
Welcome to New York, Giancarlo. I hope is this what you paid for? Well, speaking of payments regarding former Marlins, everyone knows famed Marlins man, Miami lawyer Lawrence Levy. He's the guy who goes around all the ball games. He's wearing his orange hat, orange shirt even if it's not a Marlins game.
R.I.P. Marlins, man.
He's parted ways with the Marlins. He didn't like some of the moves that Derek Jeter made, so he couldn't come to terms of agreement to sit behind home plate anymore after paying for the last 20 years. So R.I.P. to Marlins, man. It was a great run. Harry, are you upset with the Marlins losing one of their most keen free agents in a long time?
So 5 strikeouts in a row. Giancarlo Stanton gets booed in his own stadium. Take that for data. Ooh, I felt so good.
Burn. Get out of here, Giancarlo.
As with baseball games, the announcers oftentimes find themselves talking about anything else because, as you guys know, baseball goes on forever. I work for a baseball team, and the other day, our team is really good. So teams like to do this thing where they take out a pitcher and then they put in another pitcher, and then that pitcher, they realize that pitcher is no good also. So then they'll put in another pitcher, and those innings go on for like an hour. And I'm out here like, that's an hour. So in that time, you have announcers like Tim Kirchin, who admitted that he doesn't know anything about pop culture or rap music. You should probably watch the show.
Really bad for a very short time in my life. A short time. I wasn't sure if Kanye West was a man or a woman. That's how bad I am at music.
All right, Tim, you weren't sure of who Yeezy was. Interesting tidbit there that we got out of opening day.
What's even more impressive is he thought Kim Kardashian was a lesbian.
Unbelievable. Tim Kirchin. I'm not really sure what to make of Tim Kirchin's comments. I know he's got an interesting laugh. I know he's about 5'2". He's about the same size as our executive producer, Luke, the chicken nugget
Luke?
queen.
Shout out to Luke, making it into another episode.
And this time we had no mention of his 120 nugget eating challenge, but
because he can't do it.
No, he can't do it. I don't think he can. Well, that's what we get to, as we do often, we get to comparing ourselves to, can we compete with, pro athletes, this and that. This past week, the Chicago Blackhawks, they had 2 injuries to their starting goalies, and so the way it works in the NHL, there's normally only 2 goalies on the roster. They had their third guy, a local Chicago accountant. He came in and played in the Blackhawks game. They brought him essentially.
I don't understand. How come only 2 people have to get injured? Like, that seems like not a lot of people. Like, if Dwayne Wade gets injured and then Tyler Johnson gets injured, they're not going to start me. You know what I mean? They're gonna figure it out. Like, how do you not make another player be goalie? How are you having an accountant play goalie for you? Like, how many people would have to get injured until Garrett is the goalie for the Chicago Blackhawks?
I mean,
also kind of a racist name.
Seriously, this guy, he went back to being an accountant the day after the game, so it's a wild story. I mean,
it's tax season. That makes sense.
Fair enough. I know oftentimes me and my dear buddy Cody Caudill, a.k.a. Don C., another shout out.
Cody made the show. Cody, anytime there's a layup missed in an NBA game, Cody says, I'm making that layup. And you know what? Quite frankly, I agree with him. So I disagree. Do you know who's on the other side of that layup? Andre Drummond. He's a scary person. He's got hairy shoulders. He'll throw his shoulders into your face.
All right, so maybe playing with the pro athletes, that's a pretty impressive feat.
Like, sometimes I watch Jimmer Fredette, and I'm like, I could do that, and then I remember, oh yeah, I can't.
Jimmer, a Jimmer shout out. I ain't heard Jimmer's name in forever. I know he's killing it over in the Chinese league, but damn.
In Wonderlic news, the Wonderlic, some of the grades were leaked this week. Quarterback prospect Josh Allen got one of the higher scores with a 37, and your boy Lamar with a 13. 13! But it doesn't really matter because I think Ryan Fitzpatrick got a perfect score, and he sucks at football, so it doesn't matter.
Josh Allen can take his 37 on the Wonderlic test while playing D1 college at Wyoming. Lamar Jackson will go home and laugh at him. He'll have his Heisman Trophy to look at. And I think it's safe to say we know where Lamar's – I mean, with the low score on the Wonderlic, maybe he should try and go out of his way to get in trouble a few times so he can get that call we all want on draft night.
Yes, sir. Dak, this Jerry Jones and your Dallas Cowboy.
You knew it was going to make it into the show. A low Wonderlic test is something that would probably get Jerry fired up. So there it was. I think Lamar's going to be...
By the way, Jerry Jones, super low Wonderlic test.
Jerry. I bet Jerry did have a super low Wonderlic test. He is this is going to be a pretty seamless transition. Jerry Jones is a Donald Trump type character. As we do every week, we have our Trump quote of the week.
That was a bad segue. Jesus.
You like that?
That was terrible.
The bromance between Donald Trump, Vladimir Putin, it's long been documented.
I thought you were going to say Donald Trump and Jerry Jones. I was going to be like, really?
They're boys. They go way back.
They drink Johnny Walker Blue together.
Well, something like that. Nonetheless, Trump, he's been getting, it's obvious. He's got some sort of affection for Russia. Well, he took that and ran with it the other way. He came out and said this week.
Nobody's been tougher on Russia than I have.
Stop it, Donald. No one's been tougher on Russia than you. I've heard it all.
I just want to talk about sports.
Fair enough. I know. There really wasn't any.
You guys want to hear a Yelp review?
Give the people a Yelp review, Harry.
All right. So this Yelp review comes to us from Adam M. He's an elite level reviewer. It comes from In-N-Out Burger in California, which I widely regard as the most overrated restaurant in the entire world.
Enough of that, Harry. In-N-Out's fire.
Is it fair? No. This is Adam time. This isn't you. This is Adam time. Is it fair to say I don't get it? I traveled to the area from Chicago, and all I've heard from any Midwestern who's come out to the West Coast is you have to try In-N-Out Burger. Why? The burger's flavor is below average to average, and the fries are absolutely disgusting, which is something I found a lot of in these places in California. To any tourist, I'd take a hard pass on this one. There are plenty of other really great restaurants in the area. Don't waste your time here. 1 star. 0 found this useful. Thank you, Adam from Chicago, for speaking what I have been speaking since I visited California that one time and got off an airport after a layover and went to an In-N-Out at 1:30 in the morning.
I've heard enough, Harry. Normally these 1-star Yelp reviews, they get me going. This guy's a clown. I went to high school in Northern California.
This guy speaks the truth.
I went to high school, bro, in California.
You know what's good? Not In-N-Out. You guys ever go anywhere else? BurgerFi? BurgerFi is good. Five Guys? I like Five Guys. There's a lot of better burger places. It's overrated.
You look like somebody who'd be more of a White Castle guy, Harry. Or
What about Shake Shack? Shake Shack's good. White Castle's overrated, I'll say it. But Shake Shack's fire. Y'all ever go to Shake Shack? They do this chicken sandwich, ooh. And they put it in between 2 pieces of lettuce. I feel healthy, but I'm eating fried chicken.
I think we're venturing off a little far into left field at this point, Harry.
And that's the show this week. We made it happen. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Harry Cassell. With me, as always, is Garrett Martin. If you like the show, please subscribe to our YouTube page. Go on Twitter at Two Left Fielders. Subscribe to that, or follow us, or add us if you have any questions. You want us to bring something up on the show that we didn't previously bring up. And, of course, if you want to talk about Jerry Jones and various Jerry Jones quotes, a good place to add us. Two Left Fielders.